Right, so we're straight off. This is Mike versus Martin. This is to stay in the tournament. The loser of this will be eliminated in 7th/8th place. It's going to be first to 2 cups. And it's between 2 Alphen and Rijn natives. Both Mike and Martin live in the town where this tournament is being held. Martin is very highly ranked in time trials. I think he's ranked something like 16th in the world. Mike a little lower down, but very much a fan of the GP, so this should be a good match. We're starting up on Flower Cup. Mike missing the zoom start. Bit of a criminal thing to do on the first track of a cup because you get double the window to hit it. Gets the mushroom, gets a bit of a sideways long boost, and the red shell from Martin because Martin was in first, and Mike in 8th. When he fired it, it targeted after Mike. So Mike's got the star. That'll catch him back up through the field a bit. Probably looking to pick up a mushroom or a feather. Gets a banana, and then hits some of the deep chocolate. That's going to slow you right down. And Mike getting a bit of a hurry up nudge from Martin there. And Martin's now got a green shell as Mike's going to finish up his race. So Martin wins. Mike's back up to second. Shouldn't be any issues here cruising around the final corner. I assume I'm going to get these players' names mixed up at least 20 times during this cast. Both of them having names beginning with M. Both of them being from the same town. And me being very bad with people's names. But Martin takes the first track, so he's got a 3-point lead. Mike again missing the zoom start. This is a really bad track to be missing the zoom start on because navigating your way back through the CPUs on these very tight, twisty turns is quite difficult. You want to pass as many of them as you can on this main straight here. The section of the track Mike's on now is the difficult part for passing the CPUs, but he's done a very good job of that. And Martin comes to a full stop and picks up the outside item box, and now Mike right on Martin's tail, and he has a mushroom. A bit of argy-bargy, Mike and Rijn, but Ryan's got a mushroom to come back now. Wow. So Martin going into the last lap with a bit of a lead, uses the feather over the gap. Mike decided not to use the feather over the gap and was just going to try and hop it. And that decision may well have cost him second place. So from a situation where he was pretty much guaranteed second place, he's ended up dropping another 3 points and finishing in third. So that's now going to be a 9-point advantage to Martin. Up to Donut Plains 2. This is the scene of probably my favourite manoeuvre all day so far in this GP. That was in the match between Mario 86 and Martin earlier, where Martin got a mushroom and was going to go for the lake boost. Mario had a green shell and followed him across the area for the lake boost, fully committing. Green shelled Martin, and it was wonderful.
It was a great manoeuvre, wasn't it?
It was. I don't even know how you think to do that because
it's peak Mario 86 is what it was.
Because there was no way for Mario 86 to make it across that lake. He was fully committed that he was going to be drowning, but he was going to make Martin drown worse. I think he stranded Martin on one side of the lake, and he had enough speed that he could kind of hop most of the gap and then drive underwater the rest. It was
yeah, brutal.
It was so funny.
Mike's having a bit of trouble. DP2, but I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, so Mike kind of had a strange GV2 where he had a feather but went for the platform jump without feather.
Yeah, I just saw that just as I was plugging the mic back in. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd choice.
And that cost him second place down to third. And it looks like Martin's had a fairly straightforward DP2 this time. No Mario 86 to troll him. And it's going to open up a 12-point lead with 2 tracks to go.
Yeah, if Mike doesn't win this track, the next track he might as well reset.
So if Bowser Castle 2 was a fish, what kind of fish would it be?
A tadpole. that's not even a fish. A minnow.
It's a famous stumping question that was asked. Was that Fire Waster asking Dan H?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, of all the weird questions to ask, it's become a bit of a meme at this point.
And this is now why this track is known as the whale shark of SMK. Because the answer given was whale shark, because the whale shark is the largest fish, and this is the longest track in the game.
Certainly not the most boring though. I am quite a fan of BC2.
You say that, I actually think it is fairly boring.
Oh really?
I mean, I don't hate it as a track. I find it drives okay, but I don't think it's that interesting.
I quite like it. It's, you know, it's nice to drive clean.
So I much prefer tracks with large off-road portions for boosting and stuff. Your Choco Islands, your MC1 I like for that aspect as well. I like simple tracks where you can use some techniques to gain a good advantage.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I don't like these tracks where it's kind of enclosed and it kind of forces you to be able to drive well, because I don't do driving well.
See, I don't like slidey tracks, so that puts me off the Choco Islands and the VLs. Everything else I'm okay with.
So that's a 1-cup-0 lead for Martin van Haasteren against his Alphen and Rijn neighbour, friend and competitor, Mike Hulscher. You say about slidey, now this is how bad I am at the game. I notice 0 difference between the track surfaces.
Really?
People talk about slipperiness. It's like I just don't have that. I don't feel any difference between the track surfaces.
Oh, I find it really apparent to me. Maybe it's the way I drive. I don't know, but I really struggle on those slippery tracks.
I mean, obviously, I know that the gravelly bit on the DPs is really slidey and you can't turn on it. But the actual main surface for each track, I just don't feel the difference.
Interesting to know. I think Mike's seeing this out. I'd be contemplating to give up about that.
Yeah, but he can take a couple of minutes, compose himself. His track's over, like you can just cruise around, reset your brain.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to try and get a track win to kind of buoy himself up a little. Do you remember what it was Star Cup second? Oh no, this is a different cup selection, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Or is it?
No, I think it might be Star next.
Because this is a lower bracket round, whereas the last one was the upper. But they might be using the same cup selection order, I'm not sure.
I think that if any sort of match which is best of 3, I think they're just into the same cup.
Yeah, but this is a different round to the one we just watched.
True.
The round we watched was the winners' semis. This is the losers at 8.
Martin's just coming around now to finish. Take the first cup. It's already confirmed.
But if they are using the same cup order as the last one, I believe it will be Star Cup next.
shall see.
At which point not, it would choose Toad.
Yeah. Bloody Narnet. Yeah,
Okay, so it does look like they're using the same order as the winners. Semis. Both getting the zoom start, that's nice. Not only both getting the zoom start, both actually making it around the first corner as well.
It's a high quality start.
If you just knew as soon as you're going to say that. So Mike hitting that banana. Martin's not exactly racing out though.
Good item for Mike with no, he's missed the items.
Needs to drive over the item boxes to get a good item. Same for Martin as well, really. Mine was driving over them and then just suddenly decided, no, I'm going to hop over it.
Mike's missed them again. This race is over, I think. Yeah.
There's probably some French people in chat pulling their hair out at the moment.
Yeah. Get the items.
At least Mike picks up the second place. If you can't win, make sure you get second. Very important in GP. Sometimes if you can't win, you see people kind of slack off, mess about a little, and a mistake happens, and all of a sudden a bunch of CPUs come rolling past them.
Yep, it's happened to me. Happened to all of us, I believe.
Both getting the zoom start here.
So
Or Martin getting a big red shell.
So I'm assuming if Mike loses this, he's out now.
So Martin just chucked that red shell away. Probably looking for a feather. Yeah, if Mike loses, he's out. So, okay, at least Mike triggered his item roulette then. He was really kind of... I can't understand people who let the item roulette fully circle. But,
yeah.
Mike did that on lap 1 and it was really triggering some OCD in me.
Sometimes you can just focus on the driving while he's having a mare.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a mare, but he needs to pick up a feather on this lap and have Martin make some kind of nasty mistake somewhere. This has to be a feather. It's not a feather, so Martin's going to take this track as well.
Is Mike going to manage to get second place though? Struggling. I think he will.
Mike looks like somebody who's kind of, it's been a bit of a long day.
Yeah, throwing in the towel. Got a hit with this green.
When you're kind of a mid-table player like the Mikes and the Mees of this world, you have to put so much concentration into every match that by the time you reach the stage of the day, mentally you're exhausted. Once you have some of the top players like your Carols and your Marios, they can probably switch off for a lot of the matches and kind of conserve the mental usage, because a lot of it they can just drive around near perfectly on autopilot.
Yeah. It is taxing. It is taxing. When you've played so many matches, this will be sort of their 14th or 15th match.
Yeah, because Mike would have played 12 in the group stages, and then I think he played 2 barrage matches before this one.
Yeah.
And then he played another match to get knocked down into this one. So yeah, I think this is his 16th match now.
There hasn't been much breaks between them, so you're going to be a bit frazzled.
So Martin's out to the lead on VL1, which is where you want to be on VL1. You don't want to be in amongst the CPUs on this track. To be honest, you can say that about most tracks on GP. Being in amongst the CPUs is really difficult to navigate sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you're not at full speed. It's a lot easier at full speed. When you're their speed, it's just nice and furious.
So Mike's at least got back up to second place. He's carrying a lot of speed here. Just Just half a lap to... Another half a lap and he might have caught back up to Martin there.
Good final lap, yeah. Wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, 977 there. Wins the fast lap challenge.
If only there were points for fast laps.
But, yeah, this one's looking pretty much over. You got a 15-point difference with 2 tracks to go.
So he's got to rank Martin out both times, and he's got to win both times now if he wants to win this.
He can afford for Martin to get 4th places.
Yes.
But yeah, it's essentially ranking out. He needs to mess him out of the top 2.
He's got a chance here though. If he can remain clean and get a lap on Martin, he can start trolling him.
Getting through the CPUs is no easy task on this track. So you see there, Martin just clips Cooper and loses all his speed. I don't understand, like, I thought choosing a heavyweight in this game should give you a weight advantage, but for some reason, when your heavyweight hits a CPU lightweight, it's you who loses all the speed, not
I
me.
know, it's like, you should just be able to barge them out of the way, not lose much speed, but it doesn't work like that. So Mike's missed his opportunity, he's made a couple of mistakes.
And Martin's driven nicely to get back up to 2nd.
To be fair, it's not easy to drive this track well. You're a top player.
Yeah, but the CPUs aren't going to be that far behind, so if Martin does dump into the lava for some reason.
So if Mike can stay close and get an icing on him now.
That's the main danger done with. How's the green?
Oh, Shelby.
I mean, he had to go for the shot, but and you can see that the CPUs weren't really close enough. He would have had to have done some additional trolling, body to body, which is very difficult to time that, and then also get away and get ahead of the CPUs. So that's going to be a win for Martin. Martin stays alive. Mike, however, will be exiting the tournament in 7th/8th place. And that will be his last match of Super Mario Kart All-Stars.
Yeah, this is the last day of competition. I think there is going to be a day when everyone's hanging out tomorrow, but I don't know how much that's going to be streamed. There's certainly no official competition.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll... there won't even be a... What's that game that Sargoff makes everyone play?
Oh, Circuit Breakers.
Yeah, there won't be one of those. And there's none of the French people who bring the weird Japanese games will be there. So we won't have that whiff game.
Or the game.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That was one of the most fun games I've ever played, sort of with a bunch of people. You had the entire venue, the entire CDM, all playing this one silly game.
It kept making that one of those French people jump and go early, just by like being boo in his ear.
Yeah, there was so much shenanigans going on, wasn't there? So boom.
Oh, there's going to be some confused people in Twitch chat. If you weren't at CDM 2017?
Yeah, it's one of those.
There's one of the ones in the South. So, we're not commentating because this match is already finished. Martin has won. They're just kind of playing out the last track between them. See if Mike can take a track win. He's pretty close to Martin on the last lap at full speed. Gonna need Martin to make a mistake somewhere though.
Yeah, there's the corner.
Nice little boost to finish.
And that's that. Martin progresses. Mike can go to the bar.
That leaves Martin as Alphen and Rein's sole remaining competitor.
He's got a bit of a rude t-shirt there.
It's backwards. I poo ducked.